All right. We are recording. So excited about this. I'm going to share my screen. So, hi, I'm Janet Freeman, and a little bit about my story. Let's see, hang on. Let's get into this first. I am mom of twin boys who are about to turn 2. So fun. Like literally the most fun I've ever had in my entire life, but also the most work I've ever done also. Little bit about my background as far as pregnancy, I guess, or my journey. So I grew up in a household surrounded by a lot of fear surrounding birth and a lot of fear surrounding pregnancy in general. My mom had several miscarriages when I was younger and also had lost 2 babies at 7 months gestation, so 7 months pregnant, which of course was really hard for all of us. And there was a lot of fear surrounding that. And we found out that she had the MTHFR gene mutation, which affects your body's ability to absorb B vitamins, but also specifically, it has to do with the blood. And actually, a lot of women have and men have the MTHFR gene mutation, and I'm going to talk about that later and how that affects birth and pregnancy. It also turned out that she had some other kind of blood clotting issue. So her blood like overclots, and so me and my two sisters that were closest to me in age. I have 5 sisters, so there's 6 of us. The 3 of us older ones got tested, and it turned out we also had this overclotting gene mutation. So between MTHFR and the overclotting, it's been a journey to even think of myself being pregnant and having an easy pregnancy. So because of that, when I got pregnant with twins, I was like, okay, we need to figure out exactly how to do this with as little medical intervention as possible. And for me to feel empowered and safe and not fearful, because birth is not supposed to be fear-filled. Fear is just, I mean, this should be the most joyous time in your life, right? And if you're fearful and you have questions and you have doubts, and it just makes it not so much of a joy, it really takes the joy out of it. So I wanted to feel empowered. I wanted to feel safe. I wanted to feel protected. I wanted to know that I was making the correct decisions for myself, and I didn't want anyone else to try to tell me, what they knew best. I wanted to be the one to make the decisions for me, my body, my babies. So that's a little bit about me and why I am really passionate, first of all, about empowerment over fear, especially when it comes to pregnancy. Many times when I went into the doctor's office, they pushed fear. Fear was like thrown around all the time. Well, what if you got this? You could get this. You're more likely to have this because you have twins. You're more likely to get this because you're over 30. And I was just like, why is there a culture of fear surrounding pregnancy? That should just not be the case. So I'm really passionate about empowerment over fear and knowing your body, trusting your gut, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get into that a little more. Little disclaimer. These opinions expressed are solely my own. They don't reflect Young Living's teachings or anything like that. They don't endorse it. They're not responsible for it. All that good stuff. They can't guarantee. I can't guarantee any kind of outcome by telling you what I did to create a safe and healthy pregnancy. So all of this should be under the umbrella of you making your own decisions and you being empowered to choose for yourself what you want to do. A little bit about how to use pure, authentic, genuine, true essential oils. You can diffuse them. That's personally one of my favorites to do. Put them in the diffuser, run the diffusers. I have like 7 diffusers in my house. I mean, just have so many, like 1 in every bedroom, 1 in the bathroom, 4 on the main level. And I have a couple that are actually in storage for when I get a bigger house that I can put them in more places, or if I need to loan them out to somebody because it's so fun to diffuse. You can wear them, put them on as like perfume. Personally, I don't do perfume anymore because there's so much just toxic stuff that goes into that. So I just use essential oils. You can put them in the bath. You can use them for massage. Great for as a mama, you know, pregnant mama, mom in general, babies, people, whatever. Massage is amazing. You can put them in ointments, salves, creams. There are a lot of natural options. You can ingest them. That depends on the brand. I'm never going to suggest ingesting with anything but Young Living, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. There are several reasons for that. And a lot of people want to know, why would I want to ingest? And we'll get into that too. Really, really powerful option. You can also use them for cleaning your house, which is great. Personally, Thieves Cleaner is the way to go, in my opinion. All right, so fragrance oils versus essential oils. Many times, the oils in the store that you're going to find in Whole Foods, I honestly just passed in Aldi the other day, I passed some essential oils on the shelf, and it like freaked me out because I was like, people are going to think that this is okay. And let me tell you, it's really not. Many times they're the synthetic version of the real thing. It's fragrance based, it's synthetic, may contain phthalates, which are shown to disrupt hormones actually. So that's not cool. They can clog and confuse hormone receptor sites. They can depress the immune system. They can cause headaches, dizziness, and more. And many of them have just negative side effects in general. Versus essential oils, which actually cleanse receptor sites, which is amazing. Thank you, God. They maintain wellness, they support wellness in the body, and there are no negative side effects. So a little bit about why I choose Young Living. They have global farms, either that they own or that they partner with. And their partner farms, they're very, very stringent with what they allow. I've heard of them rejecting farms based on simple practices that the farm will do, they'll choose to do. And once they, Young Living sees that, they're gone. They're gone from the fold of the family. And they do that for us. They do that for safety. Everything is tested multiple times. When I say multiple, I mean like 30 to 90 times before it's bottled. This oil is tested. They have the biggest essential oil library in the world. And what I mean by that is, so say cypress has 27 different constituents. They found that out through multiple testing, and they know exactly what each constituent does and how much of it needs to be there to be present for cypress to have its full effect. They use non-GMO seeds, which is really, really important. They don't use pesticides. And that alone is just mind-boggling to me, because you'll know that like pesticides, for them to hand weed an acre of lavender is $12,000 versus $60 just to spray that same acre of lavender. And they choose to hand weed because it is so important. I mean, why go to all the trouble of using essential oils when they're supposed to help and balance the body, and then use pesticides on the plants? It just doesn't make any sense. So they really go above and beyond. They even go beyond organic standards, the US standards. The US has certain standards for organic, and then other countries also have organic standards. And they just go above and beyond all of it because they want to be like above the fold, they give back. I love the Young Living Foundation. They have several different foundations under the umbrella of the Young Living Foundation. They are going in there rescuing kids from being, and people from being trafficked. That is Hope for Justice. They are, there's the Nepal community where there was a bunch of, was it hurricanes? I think it was hurricanes. It was earthquakes a couple of years ago, and they rebuilt this whole village in Nepal. Anyway, they just have a whole way that they're giving back, and then their whole headquarters where they're at is actually completely green now, green sustainable. So they recycle all the water. They have no plastic. It's amazing. So saying all this, I really don't need to focus on other companies, right? You know, because this is what I know and love. And if you're not asking these questions, well, you need to be asking these questions. If you're going to choose another company, you need to be asking these questions. You know, do they use pesticides? What kind of practices are they using? Are they using non-GMO seeds? Can you go visit the farms? You know, the Young Living farms, you can actually go visit them. I've been to the one in Mona, Utah twice, and it's just amazing what they do. I got to plant some lavender. It was amazing. All right, so some myth busters. There is a lot of misinformation out there regarding pregnancy and oils. And honestly, you guys, it makes me crazy. I have an issue with, like, I have a justice button. My husband calls it my justice button. When something is false or untrue and people are believing it, it really gets me riled up. I'm just like, why? No, like, truth is so important to me. So these blogs and articles, they're based on two things. They're based on dead rats, and they're based on, well, the other story is these two women drank gallons and gallons of clary sage to try to induce abortion. And what happened was they died. Like, the women died, the babies died. Obviously, I'm sorry, but even if you're going to drink gallons and gallons of water, like, over the period of an hour, you're gonna be sick, or you're gonna die. Something's gonna happen. So even if it's good, drinking gallons and gallons of it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be fine. Plus, their intention was to induce abortion. So intention has a lot to do with it as well. So the biggest oils that are, like, concerning for people are usually clary sage and rosemary. Those are the ones that are really talked about. Eucalyptus. So I'm just going to say, trust your body. Do not trust Google. Trust your gut. These oils do not induce labor. And there are thousands of blogs out there that say that they do, which is faulty logic. It's just faulty research. So in dead mice, when cut open, if you drop some essential oils on the uterine wall, it contracts. And that is what they base their research on. So completely thin and misguided, and not performed with pure, clean essential oils either, because that matters. If essential oil induction were actually true, we would have no mamas going past 38 weeks pregnancy. I mean, how many desperate women have gone to like 39 weeks and just wish that they could naturally induce themselves? So there's no such thing as natural induction. Obviously, there's all sorts of ways you can try to make it happen. Again, intention is really important. But nobody would be going past like 38 weeks. So again, that brings me to, it is 100% you, girl. You are the boss of you. Because the medical community really, they don't know much about essential oils. They don't know much about supplementation. They study natural medicine for about a week during medical school. And if it's not a week, it's really short. Like, it's in the length that they're in school, it's really short. They don't study the body as a whole, like the holistic body. They study bits and pieces. And we're such a society of looking at symptoms and covering the symptoms over and not looking at the whole body. You know, instead of saying, I have a headache, you know, I'm going to drink some water, or I'm going to try to sleep, or I'm going to eat something, or maybe it's my blood sugar, or maybe it's stress. We look at it and say, okay, well, what can I do to cover this headache up? We slap some medication on it. And that's really the mindset. So I am all about 100% autonomy, responsibility. Pregnancy, like I said, equals empowerment over fear. Remember that pregnancy is not a medical condition or disease, which is many times, and what I found in my experience to be with my OBs, that is the way that they treat it. And that is the way that they're trained to treat it. Like, there is something wrong with you with pregnancy. Because you're pregnant, there's all these things that you have to be aware of and careful of and fearful of, mostly fear. Obviously you don't want to be skydiving, but there's just some things that you should not do. But that's not the way they operate. They operate as like total fear. And that was my experience, is like over and over and over, fear was so pushed. And I am not about that. Especially, again, like I said, when it comes to oils and pregnancy, I'm just going to crush that lie real quick, because you deserve to be fully empowered. And if you want to use oils, you use those oils. Again, Young Living, trust them head and shoulders above everybody else. I would never use anything else. I don't trust anybody else when it comes to me and my prego body. And just to be clear, I'm not pregnant right now, but oh, and I have to say that my pregnancy with my twins, okay, a little backstory. My sister, my mom and my sisters, their pregnancies, they involved a lot of medication and blood thinners, which I actually did end up taking too. But even my sister being on blood thinners, her placenta was not healthy, and she birthed all three of her boys. Were really, really, really small, and they were healthy when they were born. They were mostly healthy. There was maybe some small issues, mostly healthy, but a lot of it was because that placenta, it wasn't good blood flow. So I birthed two very healthy babies. My placenta was super, super healthy when it came out, and my boys were over 7 pounds apiece. They were huge. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the kit and the Prego Mama. Why I love this kit for pregnancy, why these oils are literally made for those beautiful 9 months, and how they can help. So we have frankincense and lavender. So frankincense, for sure, amazing for.
Hey, Janet.
Yes.
Sorry, one sec. I just, in case there might be a few people here that aren't sure what the kit is, can you explain that a little bit before going into the different oils?
Sure, yeah, and I was going to explain it at the end too, but so the kit's like a great way to get started with Young Living. It comes with a diffuser and 12 oils. What?
I said it's how I got started. Woo-woo.
Yes, it's how I got started. 12 oils, a diffuser, some other really great stuff in there, some great information. They actually have really upped their game and like added a bunch of information and like resources. So I was just going to talk about the kit, because I really believe that is the best way to get started with the wholesale account. It's like a no-brainer, because they just throw a ton of stuff in there, and it's a really great price. It's $165, which is like amazing. That diffuser alone is like $80, so pretty amazing. All right, so let's go back. Okay, frankincense grounding oil, like so beautiful, like the most beautiful oil, one of the most beautiful oils in my opinion. You can use it on your belly for skin, like I had twins, so I was huge, and I had a bunch of stretch marks. I love to use it on my skin. Really great for grounding, for stress. Your body is going through so many changes, and there's just so much involved. Really, stress is it doesn't have to be a daily part of your day. It doesn't have to be normal. Frankincense helps. Lavender for sleep. I did struggle a little bit with with sleep when being pregnant. I woke up a lot. But when I remembered to use lavender, I always slept better and slept deeper. All right, so then there is Citrus Fresh and Panaway. So Citrus Fresh is amazing for refreshing the air. I was, and most women are super sensitive to smell when they're pregnant. It's like smells become bigger and grosser. Like it's just like everything is like normal smells that didn't bother you before, like all of a sudden reek. And Citrus Fresh is a great one to diffuse if you wanted to get rid of odors, like your husband makes fish or, you know, something gross or, you know, I mean, it's just like real. And you're already feeling, if you're already feeling queasy, you don't need an extra layer of discomfort on that. Panaway, I used all the time. My lower back was pretty tight, and I ended up using this one a lot. It has wintergreen in it. It's got some helichrysum. It's got clove in it and peppermint. It's pretty amazing. All right, peppermint and lemon. So peppermint was a staple for me during pregnancy because of that nausea. Really helped. I would put peppermint vitality underneath my tongue. I would rub peppermint on my belly. I would just breathe it in and it would help like immediately. You can also use peppermint for energy, for extra feeling alert and awake, which if you get your lavender and you don't sleep well, then you might need some peppermint. Lemon is awesome for detox, which is always important, but especially during pregnancy. It is a great liver helper. So you can put some lemon vitality in your tea, and it's really refreshing and it helps your liver to detox. You can also diffuse that one for odor issues. Valor and Stress Away. So Valor, yay, Valor. Valor's amazing. I used Valor a whole lot when I was pregnant. I would put Valor on for like every doctor's appointment, mostly because every doctor's appointment, I was like speaking up for myself and saying things that I'm not normally comfortable with saying. So Valor was like my go-to. It was like courage in a bottle. It really, really helped. I used it also during labor. I would put it on. I put it on like constantly during labor. I was like putting it on. I was like slathering it on the way to the hospital. It was amazing. It's just super uplifting. If you've never smelled it, get yourself a bottle because it is so beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful oil. Stress Away is just like its name. It smells like vacation in a bottle. It's got lime and vanilla and some other oils, but the lime and the vanilla really stand out and they're just magical. So this one is great for during pregnancy, is great for during labor when you're feeling extra stress. It's great for after baby comes and you're like, oh my gosh, I am responsible for a small human. And now I have to figure this out. So just put the Stress Away on and it'll be great. Stress Away and Valor together. Gosh, it's like every new mom's dream. Courage and lack of stress is great. Peace and Calming is amazing. Raven, awesome. So Peace and Calming, I love as a mom and for my kids. I use Peace and Calming on them all the time, especially when they were new babies. I actually have a story one time. One of my boys, like, we had woken up in the middle of the night, we'd fed them, put them back down, and my husband like passed out in the bedroom. And I'm like in the bathroom, like he's maybe a week old, maybe 2 weeks. Really, really fresh though. And he is losing his mind, one of the boys. And it started off as like a gentle cry, you know, he's kind of crying, and then it was like more and more. And then he was to the point where he was like, you know, it gets when he's like gasping for breath and he can't stop. He just get whoa, whoa. And I'm like hurrying in the bathroom, like trying to like, and for some reason I'm thinking either Jesse is no longer in the house. Jesse's my husband. Either Jesse is no longer in the house or he's completely passed out. He was definitely passed out in bed. And I was like 3 a.m. I took Peace and Calming on my palm. I went into their room and I put it just right here by his nose. He took a breath and stopped. It was literally immediate. There was no pause between crying like he was losing his mind and then and he was asleep. Like, I kind of like backed up and I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. And then I was like, thank you God for oils. And then I went back to bed. It was great. So that is a great one. Peace and Calming is a must have. Raven, I mean, oh my gosh, like your lungs are just compressed while you're pregnant, like everything's compressed, and there's so many times when I was like, I can't breathe. Raven just opens up the airways. I'm not even kidding. It is so beautiful. There's eucalyptus in it, there's lemon, peppermint, wintergreen. It's really, really beautiful. That one's a great one to diffuse too at night. Digize and Thieves. Okay, both of these come in the kit as a vitality oil, which means they're great for ingesting. So Digize is amazing for anything digestion related, okay? Which we know pregnancy brings its own set of problems with digestion because your stomach is literally like squished and then you're nauseous. It's great. I mean, the beauty and the magic of pregnancy. Just talk about that for a second. Anyway, Digize. I could either smell it and my stomach would calm down. Plus, there's all those foods. You're like, oh yeah, that sounds really good. And then you eat it and you're like, wow, I feel horrible. And I used to be able to eat a gallon of Doritos and now I can't. Like, what is that about? Anyway, Digize is a lifesaver as far as digestion. And this has nothing to do with pregnancy, but it does have something to do with me. So my husband loves ice cream. And when we first got married, he did not have the best gut health. So when he would eat ice cream, his gut would get really, really mad. And then I would get really, really mad. It was not a good combination. Like, I was just like, dude, you need to like find out what the heck is wrong with you. I'm like newly married and he's like, I love ice cream. And I'm like, stop, just stop. And then we found oils and he started using Digize all the time. And I was like, bless, like it went away. And I was so happy. Anyway.
I'll pipe in a little bit on that one. Yeah, honestly, I think the smell of Digize is not good. I like the smell of almost every oil, but it's not my favorite smell-wise. I think it has maybe some licorice in it, I think, and I don't like to taste licorice. I don't like the smell of it. Anything that has fennel, I taste immediately. I'm very not food sensitive, but it's just one of my personal things. But anyway, all that being said, I don't know. It's really helped. I haven't done it a ton like ingesting. I know that you can. I just also, like I just said, the licorice phenols, not like, oh yes, please. I feel nauseous. Put it in my mouth. But just putting it on like my stomach or something if I felt a little nauseous or non-pregnancy related, not preggo, not a weird announcement for y'all. But anyway.
Oh, you froze. You still there? Kelly? Oh, sure. Well, I want to make sure. Recording. All right, now we're recording again.
Do you see me now?
I don't. Weird. Oh,
Okay, well, I'm not sure why there's being some
you.
technical issues, but like I was saying with Digest, sorry, some technological issues. Um, I have just found it being really helpful, like after a big meal, if I'm like having any nausea outside of pregnancy, not a weird pregnancy announcement, that it really just helps. Yeah, just calm it down, even just like rubbing just a little bit on my abdomen.
Yes.
So even though it's not my favorite smell, there's no shame if there's something it still doesn't mean that there's not like a really awesome use that's just practical in the day to day. And I can imagine that would be one that's really helpful in pregnancy.
Yes, for sure. And I used to rub it on my belly, or I would take it in a capsule, like they make veggie capsules. Or you can just put it, I mean, if you really want to, you can put in a shot of water, but I like to lessen my contact with it since it does taste like black licorice, and I don't like that. So even though it tastes and smells intense, it works. Like, it's a miracle worker. So I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going to use it. I don't care how it tastes. If it'll help me, then yeah. All right, Thieves. Thieves is just amazing for immune boosting. When you are pregnant, I mean, you're more likely to get stuff. I love Thieves. You can put it on the bottom of your feet. You can make a Thieves tea with the Vitality. It kind of tastes like Christmas. It's got clove and cinnamon bark in it. Eucalyptus, rosemary, lemon. They're amazing. They make a Thieves roller. It's really handy. Roll that on the bottom of your feet. So a little bit about my regimen and why I chose the things that I did. So supplements are really vital. Our food just does not have the level of nutrition, minerals, vitamins that we need to thrive. We may be okay with eating, a salad every day or whatever, or greens. But honestly, we've so really depleted the soil from any kind of really valuable nutrition that supplements are really, really, really important. Supplementation has helped me really move in from just existing to really thriving, really stepping beyond that just baseline of being okay. And it was one of those things where it was like, I didn't know how good I was supposed to be feeling until I started to supplement. And I wish I had known sooner. And supplements are a buzzword right now. There is a reason that I choose Young Living supplements over any other on the planet. And one of the reasons being that they put oils in their supplements. And what that does is, because each oil vibrates on a certain frequency, I can think of an example. So say we have nutmeg. Okay, nutmeg essential oil vibrates at a certain frequency. Your adrenal glands also vibrate at the same frequency. So what happens is, when you put nutmeg on your adrenal glands, they match up. And it helps your adrenal glands to be boosted to the level that they're supposed to be at, to be at that vibrational frequency that it's created for. So for example, with their Super B supplements, they actually put nutmeg essential oil in the supplement so that your adrenal glands will receive what it's supposed to receive, and it boosts those B vitamins so that it makes the actual vitamin more bioavailable to your body. Your body absorbs it like 30% better than it would if it didn't have any oils in it. And that is why I will always choose Young Living supplements over any other supplementation. They are just beautiful, and they are pristine supplements. And I want you to thrive. I'm not gonna advise anything that I wouldn't be doing, that I don't truly passionately believe in. And if I hadn't seen such a huge shift in my own health, I mean, supplements were like a minor thing in my family. Like, my mom liked to say, oh, you need B, and you need a probiotic. And so I'd do it and I wouldn't feel anything. And I'd be like, okay, did my thing. And I just never noticed a difference. And then when I started doing Young Living supplements, I was like, holy cow, dude, if I had known that there was, first of all, a better option out there, but if I had known that like supplementation was so important, I could be feeling this way, I would have done it like years ago. So when you're pregnant, you need to take special care of your kidneys. They are responsible for cleaning your blood. Your blood, you have double blood when you are pregnant. You have double the blood that you would normally because your baby and your placenta and all of that stuff. So your kidneys are responsible for cleaning your blood. So you need to take special care of your kidneys because they have a big job. Circulation is really, really important. Again, blood, healthy circulation. Hormones, really important to take care of your hormones when you're pregnant and before and after. We'll talk about that. Blood sugar is another big one. Seems to be a thing, you know, blood sugar, for testing your blood sugar, you have to take the glucose test, which by the way, you do not have to take that yucky glucose syrup stuff. That stuff is horrible for you. They put all sorts of crap in there. So ask your doctor if he'll let you do something else. I drank a glass of orange juice and it had, actually, was it orange juice? It was I don't remember what it was, but it was better than the stuff that they gave me. And I told them, I was like, oh, it has like more, like a higher sugar content or something. I don't know what it was. I'll get back to you. If you want to know, I'll find out and I'll get back to you on that. But your doctor's usually pretty open to letting you do other stuff other than that nasty syrup stuff that they make you do with your glucose test. My blood sugar levels were literally perfect my whole pregnancy, which for having twins is like, I mean, that was one of the fear things that they pushed all the time. It's like, oh, you're going to have gestational diabetes. And I was like, no, I'm not, because I have something you don't know about. Jesus and oil. So another thing you have to take care of when you're pregnant is your energy, like save your energy, and your mood. Bless all those around you with a good mood. So I use Master Formula for that was my version of a prenatal vitamin. It had all that I needed. It comes in like a little packet. It's great. Sulfurzyme for inflammation, for healthy bones, healthy muscles, healthy skin and nails. It does all the things in the body. It helps to every cellular process in your body needs sulfur to do its thing. We don't get enough sulfur in our diet. Sulfurzyme is where you're gonna need it. It's just amazing. K&B is for kidney and bladder. They're actually currently out of stock on that, but there is an alternative which I will talk about. They are in the middle of finding a new source for that supplement, which I'm grateful for, but because it means that they're trying to be more conscious of the environment and whatever they need to do to make it the best. But it's also sad because it's out of stock. Cypress, I used on my legs all the time for happy circulation. Juniper was another one I put over my kidneys for kidney health. Super B, energy and mood. Essential. Multigreens is for the awkward odor that pregnant women sometimes get. You just smell a lot more. And maybe it's because we have super like sensitive noses and we're actually smelling how we smell all the time. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But multigreens really helps with body odor. Digize, obviously. Life9 is their probiotic. It's amazing. I love it. And now that Jesse's using it all the time, he has way less issues with his gut. Essential Zymes, I did that a lot. I did that every day that's their version of a digestive enzyme. They actually have a couple versions of digestive enzymes, whether it's with you wanting to break down proteins, fats, carbs. Essential Zyme is like their one size fits all. It just does everything. I did a lot of affirmations when I was pregnant. you know, your body was made for this. I'm strong, I'm healthy, any kind of affirmations you can do. And then Progestins Plus was a game changer for my hormones. That's also really great for like, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Hang on. We'll be back. Okay. Folate versus folic acid. So folate is a B vitamin, it's B9, and it is an essential nutrient that supports neural tube development during pregnancy in your baby. Beyond supporting your baby, it's actually important for you too. And it's involved with DNA methylation, which is a process related to gene expression and supports red blood cell formation. So it's important all the way around. When you get pregnant and you start going to your OB, they're going to start pushing folic acid, which I do not understand because folic acid is not as readily absorbed in the body. It is a synthetic version of folate. But the reason they push it is because it's stable. They've actually started enriching, they started this decades ago, started enriching a bunch of our foods with it, which to me is like horrible. So they're putting the synthetic vitamin into our cereals, into flour, into crackers, and you can find, if it says on the box, enriched, it probably has folic acid in it. And I just found that out, that it's actually in our food, and that's great. If you have MTHFR gene mutation, folic acid is like poison for your body. Your body cannot thrive. If you have MTHFR mutation, stay away from folic acid. Your body can't use folic acid just as is. It actually has to go through a conversion process called, I won't be able to pronounce it. It's like methyl tridihydrofolate. So MTHF, in order for you to use it. So it has to convert it. So about a third of women actually have the genetic variants that get in the way of that process, which is MTHFR. So 1 in 3 women should not be taking folic acid, and yet it's in our food. It's really, really, really heavily pushed in the doctor's office. And I actually told my doctor many times, like, I'm not taking folic acid, I'm taking folate. And he was like, oh, okay, that works too. I'm like, works too, it works better. So folate is better. It's food source, it's bioavailable. Super B actually is food-based. Food-based sources of vitamin B are better. You're going to absorb them better. And as someone with MTHFR, Super B has been amazing. I muscle tested for it, and I suggest muscle testing for it. You can go on YouTube and find out how to muscle test yourself. I muscle tested for 4 of them, taking 4 to 5 a day. The bottle says 2, but as a woman, you're going to need more B. It's just a thing. You have to have more B. You have to have B, period, like for mood and in general. For energy and mood, this was a game changer for me, especially when pregnant. You have to have it. Okay, so biggest needs when you're pregnant are happy muscles. I'm going to go through this fast because I know we're going on 45 minutes. Panaway I used a lot, peppermint. Do your yoga, okay? I wish, looking back, that I had actually done some movement. I was so tired with twins, even with all my Super B. I was so tired. But I think yoga would have helped me. I think would have helped me be more energetic, and it would have helped my muscles a little more. Love on your lymphatic system. Do some rebounding on a little trampoline, do your walking. Your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. So like your heart, you know, your circulatory system has your heart to pump. Your lymphatic system requires actually like movement, like up and down movement or walking. That will really help release inflammation. Anti-inflammatory diet is not fun, but it does work. So stay away from grains, stay away from sugars, and dairy. Those are big inflammation culprits. And when you have an anti-inflammatory, when you're eating anti-inflammatory foods and you're staying away from inflammatory foods, you're going to see a huge shift in your energy, in your sleep patterns, in your aches and pains throughout the day. Sulfurzyme, Young Living does make a powder and a capsule. So if you'd rather have a powder, if you're like sick of chugging, capsules, that's an option. My husband actually does the powder every single day. And he has said that he used to get, holding a cell phone, he'd get like tight hands like all the time, which I need to probably start doing more Sulfurzyme. But he said that the pain has gone away. He used to not be able to grip tools, like the tools, he couldn't like hold them because his hands were so tired and so tight. So he swears by his Sulfurzyme. Another big need is happy blood sugar, like we talked about. So you can do Clove Vitality in a capsule or in tea. That is amazing. Clove is really, really spicy, so be careful if you're going to put it in your tea. Also, cinnamon bark vitality helps to balance your blood sugar. Or you can just do Thieves. Thieves is great for that too. Thieves vitality. Ningxia, I didn't, this is kind of funny. They always say, do Ningxia when you're pregnant because it really helps with nausea. And I've seen that to be so true for like my sisters. Everyone is different though. And I tried to do Ningxia, and I don't know if it was just because my body really needed it. Sometimes when your body really needs something, it like rejects it at first. But every time I tried to do Ningxia, my body did not like it. It expelled it. So I think it was just me though. I'm just being honest here because I don't want to say that I did something and it, I didn't do it.
For those of you that might not know, like Young Living stuff, Ningxia is a drink, so it's not a oil.
Sorry, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I think it tastes delicious.
It's delicious.
But anyway, I mean, I have food aversions non-prego, so I can not even imagine like all the things that I'll be like, nah. Yeah. But anyway, just to clarify.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Yeah, it's a super high antioxidant drink that it has oils in it. It has a little bit of stevia. It's really, really good for you. It's like the equivalent of like eating like 100 oranges. It's crazy high antioxidants, which your body needs antioxidants to help you break down free radicals and get rid of them from the body. Free radicals are horrible for you. So Ningxia is great for that. My body just didn't like it. I don't know why. Multigreens is another great way that I helped my blood sugar. Like I said, my blood sugar was perfect while I was pregnant. Another big need is great circulation and good blood pressure. I also had really great blood pressure, even though I have a family history of having like horrible blood pressure. My mom was put on bed rest several times with several of her pregnancies because of blood pressure issues. So were my sisters. I never had any blood pressure issues except for one time, a short time, and I did some deep breathing. I did my affirmations, I did my oils, I did my supplements, and it came down. So there are great ways to balance it. Again, lymphatic love, cypress on the legs with a gentle massage. Give your kidneys lots of love. I fully believe that because of my work on my kidneys, my blood pressure was great. So do emotional work. Fear is actually tied to the kidneys, which I find very interesting because blood pressure seems to be a very big pregnancy problem. And what do they push in the normal OB office is fear. And oh my gosh, you guys, like when we're internalizing fear, it goes right to your kidneys. Do emotional work on your kidneys. There's ways you can do emotional work with oils. If you're interested in that, let me know or let Kelly know. He could walk you through it as well. Can-B, whenever it comes back in stock, Dropperful under the tongue, so great. A good substitute for that is AminoWise. It's a powder that you can add to your water with lemon juice. And that is a great substitute for K and B. Juniper oil over the kidneys. That is happy, happy, happy. Another big need is energy. Again, multigrains, just praise multigrains. Adrenal Love and Super B, I know we talked about that. Muscle test to see how many you need. We talked a lot about Happy Tummy. Alkaline is a powder. Again, you can mix in your water. Helps balance pH. Ginger Vitality and Tea, Digize Vitality, Life 9, amazing probiotic, keeps things flowing. I know a lot of women have constipation issues when they're pregnant. I had no constipation issues. Multigrains, Life 9, Essential Zymes, and the Digize, of course, and then eating like a no sugar diet, I think really helped. Red raspberry leaf tea is a great thing to have on hand for while you're pregnant. So I find this little, I have this book called Gentle Babies. This is a great resource to have. But I just want to read this really quick. Red raspberry leaf tea is anti-nauseous and has a toning effect on the uterus without causing contractions. So if you drink it throughout your pregnancy, you can expect an easy delivery, which I think everyone should be all about, an easy delivery. It's a great one to drink after pregnancy too, because then it helps your uterus to contract and go back to its normal size. Happy hormones. Blood tests are not always a good indicator of what's healthy, because they actually just take from the population around you and they average it out. So if you fall within that average, they say you're fine. So what you need to find out what your specific, what you need specifically for your hormones. So thyroid, all those kinds of, all the hormones. Endoflex is really great. That's an oil. You can put that over your thyroid. Clary Sage is amazing for hormones. Progestins Plus is another really great one. Say no to hormone blockers and xenoestrogens. Those can be found in normal everyday products like body wash and shampoo and all that stuff. So
yeah, I think on that, I feel like everyone probably that we're sharing with knows that I have a brain tumor. And I feel like honestly, some of that is just like, okay, like it's on my hormone gland. So I'm like, okay, how did this happen? And so just like really trying to go natural myself, and how could this have been an excess? Like, I'm not, like it's not shaming myself in any way, but like, hey, like I want to give my body all the love I need, like going forward, and just eliminating any future issues there could be with that. And so I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I still use candles every once in a while because I like them. However, I know that they're not great for hormones. And so like getting like, I mean, a lot of the ones that we're talking a lot about like the uses on topically and, all this other stuff, but there's some that just smell delicious and have great benefits as well. But you can, with just different diffusers in different rooms or whatever, it really can substitute like 4 candles. And even I think all the diffusers or most have like a flicker setting where it kind of looks like a candle for more like ambiance. So anyway, you don't have to like ditch all the good smells, to like have happy hormones. So anyway, I'm learning that. I'm not going to say that I'm fully off, but almost.
You're getting there. You're doing a great job. Yeah, all those xenoestrogens do is they block, they settle into the part where your progesterone molecules are supposed to attach, your progesterone hormones, and they block it. So your progesterone can't attach, and it just creates a whole host of problems. We become estrogen dominant, causes all sorts of problems. All right, so during labor, Valor is a great option. Also, Gentle Baby is another great blend. And I would even say that for after labor too, like once baby is there at home, Gentle Baby is a great one to use on baby and diffusing. I've also heard some women say they use Gentle Baby over their belly to help prevent stretch marks and stuff. Clary Sage is, I used that one during labor as well, and it was amazing. Really helped balance my hormones. Clariderm spray, if you're going to deliver vaginally, you can spray that. Actually, you can prepare yourself leading up to birth and spray it down there in the days leading up to it. And then after as well, like after you use the restroom, I've heard spray it on after, and it really helps relieve that pain. I did not get to experience a vaginal birth because I was I did a C-section. So anyway, I did have my Clariderm spray though, just in case I got to use it. Stress Away, great one on palms, on your palms and on your wrists. Peace and Calming, I had that diffusing in the room. I didn't get to use it during labor because I was in the OR, but I did use it in my room, and all the nurses all the time were like, "Oh my gosh, your room smells so good." And I was like, "Yeah, it does. Thanks." Helichrysum, you can put that on your forearms after birth. That is an oil, and I really think it helped my bleeding. So afterwards, just was an easier flow, man. It was just like less. It wasn't like crazy like I thought it was going to be. It was just balanced, and my bleeding stopped after, I don't know, I was like maybe 2 weeks. All right, we got 10 minutes left. My thing just told me we had 2 minutes left, so I'm gonna hurry. Progestins Plus on my forearms after birth, super helped. I mean, guys, like if you want balanced hormones after birth, you gotta use these oils. These are so amazing. I never had any like, just like, like I was emotional afterwards, but I never had any moments where I was just like, felt like I couldn't climb out of a deep dark hole. And I fully believe that these oils were a game changer as far as that goes. And I was doing other stuff too. I was reaching out to people. I was talking to people. I was praying a lot. So early days for baby, to anoint or not to anoint. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I want to anoint my baby right away." I would say to wait a couple days, because, and at least if you're gonna put oils on your baby, do it like on their belly or on their legs, because the smell of baby, like you and baby, that really needs to be without anything else. That's really important. And plus, you smelling a baby's head actually tells your body exactly what kind of milk your baby needs. So it's really important that those messages don't get confused. Gassy or constipation, tummy jize is your best friend. You will need that. I use that all the time on the boys. Just rub a little on their belly. It's made especially for kids, so it's pre-diluted. Fennel is another great one. I actually just heard about this one using for constipation. You can put that on the bottom of their feet, give them a little foot massage or a tummy massage. It's a really mild oil. For the umbilical cord, I used a lot of frankincense. Sleep or calm, you can use Peace and Calming, Gentle Baby, Lavender, those are great ones. And then teething, Copaiba, for sure. Just hands down, praise the Lord for Copaiba. The teething days were very mild for both my boys, and they were both teething at the same time. So they loved Copaiba too. They would see it coming and they would just like, so funny.
Just to go back to what you were talking about earlier, I know that you mentioned the book Gentle Babies. So if any of you guys are feeling like you want to be really empowered too, and just really know, get more in depth, I've just heard that resource so much mentioned, besides just Janet too, of just how to use them with babies. And so, I mean, you want to have like, we're giving you like kind of one avenue, if you will, but it's not, there's people that like dilute, and like when you're working with babies, you want to gently bring something to them, you know what I mean? And so they're so itty bitty, they're so sensitive, and so just like you can diffuse a little bit to get them kind of like, okay, do it for a little bit, like how are you responding, and stuff. And so less is more kind of, I think, in the intro, just to make sure that they're like reacting well. And there's always an option to dilute with like a healthy carrier oil. So just wanted to put that out there, for those that might be a little more, hesitant, if you will.
And be empowered. Like, you get to make that choice.
Totally.
I made the choice to not dilute. So that's what I did. I felt really confident and to not to worry about it. Of course, the baby oil is already pre-diluted, which is always great. But
are you going to talk about the little Oilers kit at all?
Yes, I will mention that.
I'll shush.
Brief. I have like 6 minutes. So
You're doing so good, girl.
So I know for a lot of people deal with I'm going to pronounce this mastitis. You know how to pronounce it, Kelly?
I think it's mastitis, but I might be wrong.
Okay. So I never had any major problems, but I heard that cabbage leaves in the bra is like a game changer. Lavender right on the spot, Melrose, Copaiba, clary sage, all those are essential oils. To use a hot compress to get in the shower and do a breast massage to help relieve some of that engorging. For sleep, early days, mama, sleep while baby sleeps. Remember that your body just did an amazing thing. So have grace for yourself. For down there care, use that Clariderm spray and do an Epsom salt bath. For boosting your milk supply, fennel essential oil is awesome. You can do fennel tea, you can do fennel vitality tea, fennel vitality capsules. Hormones, use Progestins Plus, there's a blend called Sclerescence. Valor, Frank, also listen to what your body needs, ask for help. Community is really, really vital. I know a lot of women deal with really intense hormones afterwards. And I know I did, but I felt empowered and I felt safe because I was using my oils, I was talking to people, I was praying, like I said. And I can't emphasize enough, sleep when baby sleeps. I mean, it's just get some sleep because it will help so much. So there's 2 kits that are great. Like Kelly mentioned, there's the kids starter kit, the little Oilers that comes with a cute owl diffuser, and Owie oil is for like bumps and bruises. Sleepy Eyes oil is for sleep for babies. Genius oil is like boosting like brain function. Sniffles is for any kind of like congestion or nose stuff. And then Tummy Jize, of course, is for the tummy. So that is a great way to get started if you're wanting like a kid starter kit. If you're wanting like the kit we talked about tonight, or this afternoon that I just shared, that's like the premium starter kit. And that one's like a whole household thing. Like everybody could use it. Not that you can't use the kid starter kit. You totally could. And I definitely have, but that comes with all those oils we just talked about, plus some Ningxia, plus diffuser. It comes with some like Thieves spray and Thieves hand sanitizer. Again, I did bring Thieves spray to the hospital. Amazing to have on hand because the hospital filled with all sorts of stuff. So reach out if you have any questions or if you need help, or if I skipped over something in this and you're like, wait, go back, I need more explanation. Kelly, thank you for keeping me on track with going too fast and like if I skipped, information that people might need. So grab your kit, empower yourself, be the gatekeeper to your family. And thank you so much for joining us. I hope this was enlightening, empowering, educational, informational, and some resources to check out. Gentle Babies by Deborah Rayburn. Taming the Dragon Within is all about hormones. A must read for any woman. And there's also Mama Knows Best. I have not read this one, but I love Hannah Shields. She's super cool. Mama Knows Best is all about empowerment. So let me know if any of that would be helpful. I'm going to try to, how do I do this? How am I doing?
So there's so much more, like, honestly, we could get into, and obviously we didn't today, with just everything. It's just like, oh, what can cure the world?
Yeah.
So that being said, I know that there were some specific questions. So like, I think we pretty much hit all of them, but in the
So,
starter kit for like my own personal, like I have a lot of smell aversion as just a normal person, and legitimately like diffusing thieves and citrus fresh, like it just makes the air smell better, like after you make bacon or after, you know, whatever else.
yes.
Yeah, it just really helps in just like cleaning the air. I have asthma, and like putting Raven on my chest is like so good for breathing. And lavender and peace and calming and stress away, all of those for sleep that all come in the starter kit, I highly recommend. So I'm going to be emailing these out to quite a few of you guys, and I would love to help. I'm going to reach out in probably like a week or so to just check in and see what you think and help you get set up with the process. If you would like to, you know, get your own kit, I would love to walk you through that and explain. There's so many more resources we can give you, groups to add you to like help you get the most bang for your buck. So
Yes.
yeah, thanks for coming.
Yay.
Thanks for hosting, Janet. This was awesome.
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna stop.